Hello, hello. Welcome back to week 20 of the Santos Show. We're going to be talking about the divisional round of the playoffs, guys. And boy, we have some treats. But first, if you haven't already, subscribe, like to see our weekly content. We've been doing this since week 1, guys. And it's been a blast. And next week will be a blast. And the following week will be a blast. So I can't wait to share our content with you guys. But without further ado, Sammy, let's kick it off.
All right, man, what's going on? All right, so let's kick it off, guys, with the first game Saturday. And wow, Justin, I actually got to watch all of this game, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that first half was so neck and neck. Like Houston was competing. They were competing, and it's exactly what we said that's what they needed to do if they wanted to compete with Baltimore. They were doing everything almost right, minus the offensive side. But honestly, Baltimore's defense, it is really hard. Houston defense did amazing shutting down Lamar in that first half and not allowing him to do much of anything except maybe run the ball like here and there. But he didn't give too many run balls as they got to him really fast sometimes. And the offensive line didn't hold for him. He got sacked a couple times. But Justin, it was the exact opposite in the second half, as literally the Ravens just absolutely pulled away in the second half, and they could not stop Lamar on the ground. He was running all over them. They literally couldn't do anything. It was, I don't know. It was like they lost that momentum after that first half, and they needed to keep that momentum up to keep up with Baltimore, and Baltimore just pulled away.
Yeah, I don't know, Sammy. I don't think they had any answer to Lamar, to be honest. They had a guy in the back that was covering, like he was watching for the sneak, but yet it's like it didn't really matter. Like Lamar was just doing it to him. Like in the air and also on the ground. Now,
Mostly on the ground.
on the ground the
Mostly on the
most,
ground.
right? Like
Yeah.
he was just unanswered. Like there was nothing they could do. And 100 yards on the ground, Sammy, with the 11 attempts, like John Harbaugh was just run the ball, Lamar. They have no option to stop you. I'm going to keep on calling it, and you're going to keep on getting yards for us. And that's exactly what happened, man.
Yeah.
100 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. And it's not like he didn't throw the ball either, Sammy. 152 yards while also having 100 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, that's... Come on, man.
Yeah.
This guy is absolutely stunning us with his ability to run the ball and ability to throw the ball, and he's really playing like an MVP caliber Lamar Jackson that we saw the first time around that he got the MVP, and even better this time in my eyes.
I will say though, Justin, he is getting a lot of slack from certain people that are not liking him, just for the simple fact that they're just saying he can't throw the ball. All he does, he's a running back. He's a running back. And it's like, that's not true. Like, I understand what you're saying. He only had 22 pass attempts. He went 16 for 22, 152 yards. Honestly, like, I can't hate on the guy for literally doing what works. And he
Exactly.
knows he is taking advantage of that defense. Any defense he's taking advantage of. They have to have a spy on him at all times. And sometimes even that one spy is not even enough to contain him. Because all he has to do is break, like he literally just won't slide, right? Like most of the time he doesn't slide. Like he'll literally just dip his shoulder into somebody and just rail him over and just keep going. Like he's not like a small guy. He's a pretty big guy. So he was getting it done on the ground. He had they had a lot of missed tackles that second half from the Houston, and that's honestly what ended up costing them. A lot of missed tackles, a lot of potential plays that they could have stopped, and unfortunately they just weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I don't think they really had a answer to just the ground game at all, and Man, I was rooting for the Texans here a little bit because like I wanted it to be a really close game. I wanted it to be a good game. But after that second half, Sammy, no points, nothing. Just Baltimore defense, all of the praise, man. They deserve all of the praise. It was just easily 3-and-outs constantly, and I don't know, man. I really don't know. This Baltimore defense is looking championship level defense. And that is one of the key things you need to make it to the Super Bowl, guys. It really is. Pair that with some really good coaching, with a great quarterback, and some really nice key players. And you got a good running game. Lamar Jackson's already showed us that he can do it himself. And not even adding in, the other players that have like Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, or even Dalvin Cook that they can bring in as well. So, like, we have yet to see these guys because Lamar Jackson's been so great, right?
Yep.
So, moving forward, how our team is going to prepare to deal with that running game, and even then, how are they going to scheme their offense to go against this Baltimore defense?
Yep. I mean, Justin, I'll definitely put it like this: the Ravens are looking like they're going to be in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. And the reason why I'll say that, and I'm not going to get too much into it, is because who they're going to be coming up against in the championship round, and
Yeah.
I feel that this has to be the year they get this done. If this isn't the year, and they get stopped again, Lord knows. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you do at that point, because as long as they do what they've been doing, Lamar, as long as he runs that ball whenever he needs to, as long as he needs to, and then whenever a wide receiver is open, and if he gets it down the field, that's all he needs to do. I will say this, Justin, there was a couple times where he had a wide receiver down the field. He didn't see them open, and he would run it, and he didn't get the first down, and they would end up punting it because he didn't see the guy wide open. So I think there was like 2 instances where there was a guy wide open, he didn't see them, and kind of just went down, unfortunately, or took the sack. As he did have 3 sacks for negative 29 yards. So he definitely, like I said, but that was really happening in that first half. Like I said, Houston, that first half came out hot, just like how they did against the Browns and how they defeated them. So they came out hot, ready to play.
I believe it was the first possession they punted, no? And then the Ravens punted it back, and then they got the ball the second possession, and they ended up scoring off of that one, right?
They got the field goal. Yep. They got the field goal, and then Baltimore got the field goal, and then...
So it was a close game this first half, Sammy. It was pretty close. I was keeping tabs on it. Guys, I was working at the time, so I was keeping tabs, watching the game, working at the same time. So, I might have missed a couple details, but for the most part, I watched most of this game. Sammy, is there anything that happened in the second half, mostly as soon as it started? Because that's when it really got busy at work. Is there anything that really happened in the beginning of that second half that really stood out to you?
It was like I already said, it was Lamar. It was Lamar's running ability. Like, he actually was just getting it done on the ground, and they could not find a stop. Even so, they tried to do the same scheme that they did the first half, right? Which was putting a QB spy on him, and he was containing him. It was containing him, but it got to a point where then he was starting to pass it a little bit more. And then they were like, oh, crap. Okay, so what do we need to do? Okay, we'll put another receiver out there. We'll just hope that our defensive line gets to him. Then he just started running the ball a whole lot more. And it was a lot of fakes. It was a lot of, like, almost like you don't know where the ball's going to go. Like, he could hand that off and take it himself the other way. And that was happening so many times. Like, the defense just didn't know. Like, hey, like, half you guys go for the running back, half you guys go for the quarterback. And it's like, it's hard to even play like that because the running backs, I mean, that's their job. So they're going to get it done, especially if they get through, they're going to pick up some yards. But like I said, Lamar, like, his speed is insane on that ground, man. He was freaking soon as he had that ball and faked it, he freaking punched it the other way, and it was getting down the field, getting first downs, and that's all he was doing. And he just marched down the field doing that. And then obviously with the couple big passes in between there, yeah, I mean the team
Dude,
looked great, Justin.
Sammy, I'm kind of just in awe just looking at the stats here. Like 229 yards as a group on the ground that was allowed, right? So that was their key offense. It was ground game. Now, defensively, what team have we seen this year that was able to stop CJ Stroud in the third and fourth quarter?
Uh, I mean, are we talking earlier weeks here? Because I can mention a couple
Maybe.
earlier weeks.
I mean, maybe yes, right? I could be wrong. There could be multiple teams that have done it earlier this year, but in, I want to say, the last 15 games of like the stretch of 15 games, the last 15 games, I don't think so. I really don't. And it's weird to see. It really is, especially when you look at CJ Stroud and how good he's usually been in the second half of games this year. It's very surprising to see that he got shut out completely in the second half. And I mean, hopefully he
had a
takes
couple
this as
drop
learning.
balls. Had a couple drop balls
Yeah.
by some of his receivers.
I
Dalton
hope he
Schultz
takes
had
this
one big
as
one.
a learning experience, and sees elite defenses differently, and works to get better. Now, he's already kind of an elite quarterback in our league, and that's just crazy to say because this is his first year in the league.
Yep.
Where do you see his game elevating into next year? And then we'll move on.
CJ Stroud, oh, he has a bright future. He has a bright future. I'm honestly, I believe that the Texans just found their franchise quarterback, and I'm very happy for them. I feel like they need to just now start building around CG. That's what they need to do. Build around CJ Stroud, build around that defense, buff it up a little bit more, especially in the rush game and pass game too. But outside that, Justin, the team looked phenomenal. Phenomenal. Unfortunately, they ran out of juice that second half, which, I mean, that was a really big letdown from the defensive side of Houston. If Ravens doesn't go down and score that touchdown beginning of that first half, the second half right there, Justin, I feel like CJ Stroud, they get a punt, they force a punt, and CJ Stroud gets the ball. I feel like you could put up points. But I think once he had so much pressure on him of like, hey, I have to get a touchdown, or hey, I have to put up points, he was starting to throw it a lot more. And as you saw, not much of a run game. 38 yards total on the ground. Devin Singletary had 9 carries for 22 yards. 9 carries, Justin. And
Wow.
Devin Singletary, who's actually been a beast these past couple weeks for the Houston Texans. So it was a big letdown because you know what Baltimore did? They just went into pass defense, and then CJ could not find somebody open. Nobody was getting open in time. And either they were getting to him, or, he would try and force it, and they would, it was always getting deflected, or one of his guys would have it and then drop it. So it was just a series of unfortunate events. But Houston Texans, back on original question, Houston Texans have a bright future. We'll see you next year. They made one hell of a fucking run. One hell of a run. Like,
I'd have to agree.
You guys
nobody
made it to the
really
divisional
saw
round.
them. Nobody really saw them this year sneaking into the playoffs, making it to the 4th seed, and then making the push like they did. I didn't see it. Me and you both went for the Browns. We thought the Browns easily had that one. In my eyes, and the way they've been playing lately, I thought they had that game, but they shock us completely. They shock us, throw up 45 points, and then come up with only 10 this game. So that's another shocker, but also it really reiterates how good Baltimore really is. And I can't wait to see the next game, Sammy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun one next game. Congrats to Baltimore. Much deserved. The first half they came out a little flat, but you know what? It was after their bye week. We kind of expect a lot of teams coming out of their, well, bye week as in like they get a free week. A little cold, but once they came back hot. They came back the same way that they originally left in week 18, week 17. So amazing job by them. Just absolutely amazing job. So can't wait to see it. But yeah, I have no other comments about that game, and yeah, I'm ready for the next game if you're ready.
All right, guys, the next one we got, obviously, okay, if you're watching football on Saturday night, it was the Packers against San Fran. And this one is the one I said keep your eye out for, because this one can get a little bit tricky and a little bit close. And boy, were we right, man. This one got close. Although I picked the 49ers to win this game, Sammy picked the Packers to win this game, I was thinking the Packers might win. Like, third quarter, I was like, what's going on? What? Are we about to see the 49ers lose against the Packers? Are we about to see the Packers go into the NFC Championship game?
And you know what, Justin?
Are you kidding me?
I said it last week. Green Bay's offensive line did one hell of a job again. 0 sacks for Jordan Love. They could not get pressure on him fast enough. He was rolling out. And it was raining, by the way. It was raining. It was disgusting outside. And he still played not like incredible, but like not getting sacked. He did throw 2 INTs, which really hurts, right? If he didn't throw those 2 INTs, honestly, they might win that game. But honestly,
do win. To me, I think they do win.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think about where that last interception came from. The last interception came from pretty much the game-ending interception. So it was really hard, and it was a hard loss. Aaron Jones, wow, 18 carries, 108 yards. Have to shout him out, Justin. 53 yards as his long, absolutely destroying this playoffs, man.
Just letting everyone know.
Playoff freaking Jones. Holy crap.
Just letting everyone know that fantasy doesn't matter. Only playoffs matter to this guy. Only playoffs matter to this guy. Your fantasy team has no impact on him. So, with that being said, great job, Aaron Jones. 6 games in a row, 100 yards or more.
Yep.
Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Really picked up the pace as soon as he got back from the injury. AJ Dillon went down. He came back in. And then he just really popped off the last 6 games. And boy, like, it's been great to see. He's damn near looked like the best running back in the game, besides Christian McCaffrey, of course, but really like the best running back besides him in the playoffs, at least, right? 108 yards, dude, again, against the 49ers, of any team, right? Against the 49ers. 108 yards. Really, this guy's a beast, man. And boy, that team is looking good. It's looking really good. This is the first time that Jordan Love got to start. Aaron Rodgers gets traded last year, goes to the Jets. He gets brought up. This is his 4th year in the league, but technically he's a rookie because it's his first time starting, right?
Right.
To see this, another rookie quarterback make this kind of debut and go this deep into the playoffs with a team full of, second year guys, first rookie guys, it's insane, unheard of. And it just goes to tell you how good an organization really is. With a great organization that has a great front office, a great coach, great staff around it, it just brings your team up. And Did we really see the Packers making the playoffs this year, Sammy?
Nope.
After the year, the up and down
had 'em
slope they
counting out.
had.
Everybody had them counting out, just
And the funny thing
like
is,
our team.
I had them in the playoffs in the beginning of the year. I said to everyone in this podcast, guys, that I said that the Packers are the team to look out for in the NFC, and they can possibly slip in. Now, midway through the season, I changed I changed it. I said, screw you, Packers. Screw you, Jordan Love. Screw you, Aaron Jones, because I had a lot of Packers in my fantasy, guys. Okay, that's the reason why. Now, they really, really picked it up at the end of the season, slipped into the playoffs, had a phenomenal game against the Cowboys, pretty much making everyone who's not a Cowboys fan extremely happy and enjoyable to watch football, and had a blast. Drank a couple beers, went to the fridge, grabbed a couple snacks, and just had a blast on Twitter, etc. But getting back to the game, Romeo Doubs is looking great. He's looking like damn near their number one wide receiver. Christian Watson hasn't really shown me much to say that he's still their number one.
But he's right around there. He's like 1-2.
But
he's
then
like,
again, he's been really injured this season. But Aaron Jones injured again, but also shows us this in the playoffs. Deserves to keep him. So if they get these guys back and they have another year with these guys, and Jordan Love's still playing like how he played the last remainder of 5 games in the season, I'm telling you, this team is looking like a playoff team once again.
Yep, absolutely. And something else to mention off that, something else I really want to mention in this game, Justin. Deebo Samuel went down, and he actually he went out the game, and we thought he was going to return, and he was ruled out right around halftime. Did not come back out. He when he came back out, he didn't have his any of his his pads on or anything. He would just came out in shirt. So I was like, dang. And some of those plays they were trying to run, they mainly ran with Deebo. For those, but during that bye week, they were running plays with Deebo. So when they tried to do it with somebody else, it was not working, and it was showing. It was like, oh boy, this is gonna get spicy. Is this gonna happen again to the 49ers, where they lose a key player, in their team, and they don't end up freaking making the championship round because of it? Luckily they ended up pulling through, but man, Justin, I have to say that was very, very scary for the 49ers there for a second. I know a lot of people was just held their breath.
And let's talk about the amount of pressure that was on Brock Purdy's shoulders there at the end. Dude, like immense. Like it's either score or lose, right? Like you don't score there, you lose. Field goal does nothing. Field goal does nothing. Like you're gonna lose, you get a field goal. You take a chance, roll the dice, and see if they punt it away. But with the way Jordan Love was playing that game, this is only one interception in. They didn't want to take that risk. So I mean, really good job from Christian McCaffrey as well, because Christian McCaffrey absolutely got that. What was that long, Sammy? I got.
So he had
he had 39 yards for a touchdown, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that was the one run. He went out left and literally snuck by and got through, and he just ran it all the way for that touchdown. And I was like, just like this, like, no, Green Bay, what are you doing? Like they were just doing so well. Like honestly, after that third quarter, Justin, I thought that Green Bay actually was gonna win this game. I was like, dude, Green Bay's going to do it. They're going to fucking do it. But the freaking defense just couldn't hold that Niners one more time in the fourth quarter. That's all they had to do is hold them one more time.
Dude, so close, man. This game was awesome to watch. And I thought maybe, just possibly, Jordan Love might do it to him at the end there with no timeouts. A minute left. I thought Jordan Love might do it to him. And then I saw him go in the middle of the field, man. And you know what that reminds me of? We'll
Oh,
talk
we're not
about it
gonna. We'll
later.
talk about that later. Yeah, I know exactly. I know. I literally saw the flashback in my head when he threw that ball. I was like, oh, like
Yep.
it's crazy. Like in the future, I'm talking future
Yep.
guys, but it was insane. It was just like the same exact like kind of thing happened. It was like, what the man? Are you serious?
Yep. It's
Like one
almost
of
I don't know the word for this one, but it's just it's just kind of like deja vu, man.
yeah.
Like
Also,
it just seemed like the same situation. But kudos, I got to give them credit, man. I got to give the Packers credit. Holy shit. No one saw this coming. How
yeah.
were they able to do this against the 49ers? And honestly, if you're a 49ers fan or just a fan of football and you were rooting for the 49ers or saying the 49ers are going to make the Super Bowl, how are you guys confident right now with the way that this game played out?
And now you're about to, yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But also, Justin, big shout out, George Kittle,
Yeah.
dude. Green Bay did not have an answer for him. Did not have an answer for him at all. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting almost 20 plus a fucking carry. Literally, I think, yeah, he had four receiving grabs for 81 yards. That's 20 plus a reception, Justin. That's unexcusable. Like you just can't let that happen. You know what I mean? You just can't let that happen. So they needed to be playing him a little bit better. But it's just like I said, 49ers also have so many weapons on their team. You can't really double one person. So you really have to hope your defender, whoever's guarding them, is going to stick on him. And if not, then unfortunately, that's what happened. Now, he was targeted additional 3 more times. He had 7 total targets, which I believe 2 of them was batted down, and 1 was thrown just out of bounds, like towards him. But I mean, it was one hell of a game. This was probably the closest game we had this weekend. So big congrats to San Fran. You guys are now going to the championship. And Green Bay, what a fucking job, man. They played incredible this year. They played incredible towards the end of this year and did not see them sneaking in. Almost everybody counted you out. You made it to the divisional round. Hold your fucking heads high. Like you have a bunch of first years on this team. This is another Houston like team, Justin, where this team could go. Like if you give this team time, this team could grow into another like crazy team for the NFC.
Yeah. And I want to talk about one key wide receiver on the Packers, man, that really surprised me in this game, man. Like just like crazy catch after like clutch catch. Man, dude, I was so surprised of Romeo Dobbs. This guy was drafted in 2022. Nobody knew who he was.
Same with
Nobody knew
him.
who he
Yep.
was. Really, like
They couldn't stay on him. Yeah.
nobody knew who this guy was. He averaged 20 yards a catch this game, guys. Like,
Yep.
this guy is elite. Deep ball threat, will come down the ball with the ball no matter what circumstance. You saw how bad the weather was. He still caught it. And that reminds me of a really good player that missed a nice ball that we're going to talk about later.
Yep. All right, but great game from both teams, and good job 49ers. You ended up sneaking that away, but you definitely are going to need to play to this next game tighter. But yeah, Justin, I'm ready. I'm good with that game. Let's hop into the next one.
All
And
right,
this
guys.
is going to be a hard one. But
This one is going to be super
Hurts.
depressing.
hurts.
We're talking about the Bucs and the Lions. First game of Sunday, divisional round NFC football, guys. I was so hyped for this one. I was like, let's do it to him. let's do the unspeakable. Let's do what Tom Brady did. Let's go to their house and beat them in their house. Let's absolutely mop the floor with them and show them and all of the haters that we can still do this regardless of quarterback, right? And it kind of looked that way up until the second half. Where
I'm going to say that, Justin. Honestly, we stayed with them the entire game. The entire game, Justin. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. The fourth quarter was the only quarter where our defense allowed not one, but 2 touchdowns within that quarter. And
that's why I said
what really killed
half.
us. And Jahmyr Gibbs was a problem for us. We could not stop that man. That man was literally he's a problem. He is a problem, bro. He was a problem for us. We just couldn't do anything with him against him. Not even Montgomery. Montgomery didn't do as well. It was literally Jahmyr Gibbs. It was his day, man, and he shined.
Yeah, he had, 2 really, really good plays for touchdowns. Everyone knows about the one play he had. 31 yards, ran down the middle of the field, dodged Winfield, and had an opening. Yep. Just had an opening straight
Winfield
in.
Almost. I was waiting for it, Justin. Winfield came from the side, and he was looking for that punch. I saw him, and he.
No, that was the second one. That was the second one. The first.
No, that was the long one. That was the long one because you chased him down, and he caught it back up. But Jahmyr Gibbs had the ball on the outside, so it's like he knew that Winfield is he knows this, and he's like, I'm not gonna be that person to have it on the inside and let Winfield literally punch that out right at the field goal. I'm not gonna be that stupid at the goal line.
This is kind of weird. It's kind of weird to talk about. So many rookies in this playoff in 2024, 2023 season.
Mm-hmm.
So many rookies are playing in these playoff games and absolutely shining. Yep. Absolutely shining. Jahmyr Gibbs is another one, man. Dude, I don't know if they play Montgomery over him anymore. I don't know. He's shown enough to be the number one guy. He really has. He really, really has, dude. Averaged 8.2 yards a carry against us. 8.2.
He did, Justin, but at the same time, I believe that these two, as both like having a very, very elite. This is like another freaking Colts situation where they had like 2 elite running backs. Same situation. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, both elite running backs right now at this point in time. And honestly, I keep them both. Why not? It's turning into a league where having 2 elite running backs aren't a bad kind of thing. Like you can sub them in and out. Like
what I'm trying to say, Sammy, is I believe he's now overtaken Montgomery as the starter.
I mean,
I believe that he is RB1 on the Lions squad. At least at this moment, we'll have to wait and see what happens next year, etc. But at this moment and how he's been
you
playing
played
the last
Gibbs.
2
you
games.
played Jahmyr Gibbs in the championship round.
Yes, I would.
Against the 49ers.
Yes, I would. He played against the Bucs team that's been there before.
Okay.
We've been there before.
Okay.
We've been there before, Sammy, with the same squad. Yes, we possibly changed a couple of key positions on defense, but this is a rookie. He's bringing that kind of energy in the playoffs. You cannot backseat him. You gotta let the guy show out. He's ready and up for the challenge. You saw him into the cameras. He's ready for it. He wants it. He's hungry. And boy, I was mad. I was mad watching him. I was so mad watching this guy run the ball all over us because I was thinking, if they can't get a running game and we force Jared Goff to throw a million times, we could possibly force a pick.
He's gonna make mistakes.
Exactly. We can blitz more, but the problem is a lot of Tampa Bay fans right now are saying, why didn't we blitz Jared Goff more? Well, it's because if we blitz a lot, it opens the door for Jahmyr Gibbs to have those 31-yard gains for a touchdown. It opens Montgomery up to have those gains down the field and score a touchdown or possibly get a first down or more, right? Like, that is why we did not blitz as much, is because we were scared of that running game. And, boy, we should have been, because 114 yards as a group on the ground against us.
Yep. I do have to say this, Justin. A big shout out to our receiving core, Justin. They did a great job, man. They did a great job. Mike Evans, 8 receptions, 147 yards. Dude, sign this. Re-sign him. Sign him. Don't lose him. Justin, you can go yourself somewhere else, because I remember you telling me in the beginning of the season, oh, you know what? We need to sell him. We're going to need the now look at you. Aren't you looking dumb right now? Aren't you looking dumb right now?
No.
Aren't you looking dumb? Are you sure? Are
we
you
didn't
sure
make the Super Bowl.
after what he? Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because you see that connection that Baker and Evans is having.
Yeah. Well, like, I honestly didn't see that in the beginning of the season. I didn't see that in the middle of the season.
Yeah, it's their first couple of games. Like, it takes them a little bit. Like, it's not like he was.
Yes, and no. We saw that connection instantaneously from Tom and Mike.
No, that was not incorrect. Incorrect. It took him a couple of games as well. It did. Watch it back.
Yes, but Mike Evans had phenomenal games. He had phenomenal games in the beginning of the season. Yes, sure, they were off a little bit from time to time. But for the most part, he was the number 1 wide receiver on our squad at all times with Tom.
Yes. Yeah.
With Baker, he was not the number 1 target on our squad. Baker wasn't targeting him a bunch in the beginning of the season.
But he did when it mattered.
They were off targets.
He did when it mattered. He did when it mattered.
Yeah, and we really saw this connection really start to mend itself together in the late, middle, towards the end of the season, Sammy. I want to say week 13. Yeah, week 13, 14, 15, and then we really started getting it together offensively, and the connection kind of grew there. But yes, I agree. We should keep Mike Evans now, because if we let him walk for nothing. We get nothing in return now, because now he's a free agent. So please, for the love of God, sign this guy. Just make him a Buck for life. Might as well, because if we let him walk, once again, we get nothing in return, and we lose our best wide receiver.
Yep. I 100% agree.
Sammy, what do you think the Bucs need to do to upgrade coming into next season? And I want to talk about this one because we're both Bucs fans, guys. If you haven't known, we say it every single podcast. We talk about the Bucs. We talk about other teams as well, and we do recaps of every single week of every single game. But we are Bucs fans, so sometimes we like to talk a little bit more about the Bucs.
Especially since we also made it to the divisional round, so
which no one saw coming.
Nobody saw coming. We were the true underdogs. They even had Green Bay. They even had the Texans over us. So literally, we were the bottom of the barrel. Unfortunately, especially during the divisional playoffs, they had us at the very bottom of potential winning this game. And you know what? We made it one hell of a fucking close game. Yeah. You know, we were only one possession away from potentially tying this game up and sending it to overtime. Yeah. And you could tell by that last interception that Baker threw, the reaction he had. He knew it. I will say this, Justin, and we're going to talk about it for just like 5 minutes. We're going to talk about this.
Okay. Let's hear it.
What happened to Todd Bowles last freaking possession?
Here it comes, dude.
We had one timeout, acting as if the game is over. They need it at like 30. I think it was like when they need it for third down. There was like a minute and something left, Justin. Like, he could have called that timeout when it hit fourth down I'm sure, I think they said 31 seconds. And you know what Todd Bowles said? And he was like, oh, they'll just kick the field goal. Where is that like confidence in your special teams and being like, you know what? What if this happens? What if we get a blocked field goal? What if we get a blocked field goal and run it down and get that touchdown?
Yeah,
Convert that 2 points.
Sammy,
Go for the offside kick.
we've
Get the offside
seen
kick. Get a field goal. Win the game. You don't
that's
know. There's so
all
many
right.
possibilities that could have happened. But instead, he was like, you know what? I mean, I like the sportsmanship. Like, you can have it. But it's like, at the end of the day, this is a divisional playoff game. This is not no regular season game. This is a divisional playoff game. This is to go to the NFC Championship. Am I wrong to like just say it was over? Like there was no shot? Because you'll see this in a lot of other games where they look like they have 0%. Everybody writes them off like, oh, yep, they're over. And they called that timeout there. Everybody have been like, wait, because the Lions, I don't even think they knew that he had a timeout. Because when they needed, they assumed that they didn't have any timeouts. I'm just saying. Justin.
Now that you said what you needed to say, I'm going to start by saying this. This is not the first time we've seen this from Todd Bowles. Okay, this is really not the first time we saw it last season. We saw it a bunch of times this season where he just concedes. So this is just not, it's not odd to see this happening from Todd Bowles. And this is why a lot of Bucs fans do not like him as a coach, because he makes decisions like this. They can really determine the ending of a game, right? And in this key concept, or in this key game that we saw, it's in a divisional game. You gotta call the timeout. So I'm on board with you, Sammy. I agree. We should have called the timeout there and at least given our special teams a chance to do something there, but we didn't. And it's probably because he conceded. He knew that Baker threw the interception. He knew the game was, pretty much over at that point. He didn't want to make it harder on Baker, the loss, or our team. So I'm not going to defend him completely, but I will defend some of his actions at least. So I can see the way he's looking at the game, but also I see the way that you're looking at the game as a fan. And, it does suck to see, as a fan, to see that play where they just need it and the time just ran out. And they went on the field with one timeout remaining and possibly able to come up with a block that returns for a score or whatnot, right? Regardless, that probably would have just been 2 points and the ball back. We would have had, 10 seconds left on the board, or by the time he would have ran it back, the clock would have been empty. So, I mean, I see the way he was looking at it. But yeah. Todd Bowles, is not his first time doing this, Sammy. We've seen it many times before, make really bad decisions. And another bad decision that a lot of people want to talk about in this game is, why do you go for two? Why'd we go for two?
Yep.
And honestly, I thought we were just going to kick the field goal. I thought we would just kick the field goal, see if our defense could stop them, which we did stop them. Get the ball back, push it down the field, score another touchdown, kick another field goal, tie game.
Yeah.
Or then, if you want to have the balls to call the 2 point, you call it there to win the game.
Yeah. Or
right? You call it there to win the game, not to just you get the 2 points. And
but
then,
even then,
you stop them, and then you get the ball back, you get a touchdown. You could kick the field goal and win the game. Mm-hmm. The extra point and win the game. So I see the way he was looking at it, but also I'd rather it come late than before, because it puts enormous pressure on Baker to get a touchdown. But not only a touchdown, now he has to hit the 2 point conversion and even tie it. So enormous pressure, and then also, dude, did you see the Lions Stadium? That stadium was absolutely on fire. It was blasting in there, man. It was so loud, so loud in there. Kudos to the Bucs, guys. We gave it our best shot. No one saw us getting this far. And the fact
Nobody
that we beat
saw
the
us
Eagles,
making it
one
this
of the best
close.
teams there was in the league, regardless of not they had defensive problems, they still were 12-5, guys. They still were an elite team in this league. They still had MVP caliber players. They still had elite players on their squad.
Yep.
So that's all I want to say about the Bucs, guys. Really, I want to talk about what we need moving forward for like about 5 minutes, Sammy, and then we can move on.
I would say 2 minutes, honestly, and I want to just touch up on it. I mean, we've touched up a little bit on it about the Todd Bowles situation. That needs to change, where something needs to happen there. But obviously, with us making the divisional round, more than likely it's not going to happen. And they even talked about that prior to that even happening. The last playoff game, they talked about it and said more than likely if they at least make the playoffs, Todd Bowles is still going to stay there. So yeah, more than likely we're looking at another season with him, and I don't know how I feel about it, Justin. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't think he is the right coach for us. I think he's a good coach, a very good defensive coach, but I don't think he's a head coach material, and I feel like we really need one. And then
the problem that I have, Sammy, is that you want to keep going. I can hold off.
The one last thing I had was so that was my one thing, and my last thing I wanted to say, sign Baker, sign Mike Evans, and make sure we beef up our O-line a little bit more outside of just Tristan Wirfs. Hopefully Ryan Jensen comes back next year. I think that's what happens. He's been out for 2 years, dude. This freaking sucks. Like, I'm tired of getting hurt at freaking training in preseason, gets hurt and out for a whole damn season again. Like, you can't keep that going, keep that happening, man. He is he's an all-pro center, and we really need him at the center. So I'm really hoping he comes back next year, and then we fill the right guard position, because right now Tristan Wirfs has the left. I feel like we need one more guy, like big help on the outside, because as you saw, Justin, where was a lot of that pressure coming from? The outside, and they weren't going for Wirfs. They were going the other side. They hit Wirfs one time, and Wirfs missed it, but he didn't let that happen again. And then they went to the other side, and it kept happening over and over again, where Baker had to scramble, or he didn't see him, and he got sacked, and he got hit hard. He got hit hard a couple times. So, like I said, those are the two things I would change.
For me, man, I feel like we have to drop Chase Edmonds. I really do. I honestly want to go into
running back.
I want to go into the draft, guys.
Rashad White is hold on. Wait, but 1 second. Rashad White, he is a pass rusher. He's not pass rusher. He's a good little dunk person and just run up the field. We need a tank. We need a tank that could run. You know what I mean? We need somebody that can actually run the ball, because Rashad White was getting it done that night, but most of these games this year, Justin, he was not getting it done, and you know that for a fact.
And that's why I wanted to talk about this. That's why I was bringing it up. Chase Edmonds, I feel like we need to let him go. He hasn't really done much for us at all. I don't know when we got him, but he kind of just appeared in the playoffs, because we didn't really see much from him if he was on our squad at all. He might have been brought up, if that, but we haven't seen much out of this guy. So we need to drop him. We need to actually go out and get us a running back. And I know Todd Bowles, and I know how he plays, how he coaches the game, and who he's going to want. He's going to tell Jason Light, hey, make sure we draft more defensive players. We got defensive guys that are getting older, draft defense. And it's really sad to see, because what we really need is a running back. And that was our biggest concern coming into this season, guys. Like, if you haven't watched any of the Bucs games this year, all of the announcers talked about it every single game. Where's our running game? dead last in the league pretty much all year. Our running game was absolutely like irrelevant. We were just invisible. We couldn't run the ball. Rashad White, he's more of a pass catcher. He's more of a guy that gets open for screens, checkdowns, then breaks free, goes for long distances. We've seen this guy get free this late in the season, in the playoff games, maybe week 18, week 17, he's gotten free, running down the middle. But with our offensive line, how bad our offensive line's really been with our running game, we need some help there as well. So go out, get some offensive line help, keep Baker, and please get a running back that's not a pass catcher. Just keep Rashad White, add to him. Get somebody that can get you some ground game, get some offensive line help, and then shoot defense. Our defense already pretty elite. I'll take that. But we really need a running game, Sammy. If we had one weakness this entire year, it's been our running game.
Yeah. And no hate on Rashad White. He was still balling out. He had over 1,000 yards, I believe, total combined with rushing and pass catch. So he did a great job. Obviously, though, we need more help with the run game because that's where he was struggling majority of the year, was running the ball. So we just need some more help there. Hence why I also hinted at the
he really reminds me of Alvin Kamara. He really does. He reminds me of Alvin Kamara. Just more years under his belt, and we can see him have a year just like Alvin Kamara. But getting somebody like Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, like somebody like that, it's huge. That's Nick Chubb. It's gonna get you the yards that you need. You can rely on this guy to run over people and get you the first down. That's what we need right there. We cannot rely on Baker Mayfield to scramble and get those yards himself. I don't want him doing that. I want him healthy. I want him throwing the ball. I want him, occasionally scrambling and getting the first down. But let's go ahead and move on.
Let's move on.
Sucks. Right, it really sucks for the Tampa Bay, but we made it this far, guys.
Lions,
I'm so proud
congrats. Of our group. Lions, congrats. This is first time in 30 plus years you guys even made it this far. So this is incredible. City actually went ham bananas. They were throwing so many parties everywhere. They were acting like they won the damn Super Bowl. So it's a big thing for Detroit. So I'm happy for them, and I really hope honestly they end up making the Super Bowl. I hope they beat San Fran. That would be great. That would be great. Stop the tanks of the NFC. I've always loved that story. I love the I wouldn't say underdogs, but like just the comeback story of the Lions. Yeah. Like who would have thought the Lions would have gotten this far? It's insane to talk about. But yeah, Justin, I'm ready to talk about the next game. If you are.
I am, and I was right again, guys. I'm trying to think of the words that I could say right now.
Here, I got you.
But
you.
I'll give you time. All I can say right now is, as much as I would love to be wrong, I was right again. And the curse lives on. Now, let me get on by talking about what I mean by curse. Well, if you're a Bills fan, you exactly know what I'm talking about. Seriously, you really do. If you're a Bills fan, you know that the Bills have a curse on them. They get to this point pretty much every single year. And then they fold against the same exact team every year. The Chiefs. They do it to them every single year. And that is my exact point of why I did not take the Bills in this game. What I thought was going to happen in this game did not happen. I thought Josh Allen would play hero ball because he's versing Patrick Mahomes. I thought he would make play after play where he throws interceptions, runs the ball, maybe fumbles, which we did see that was recovered by them. But regardless, what I thought what we were going to see was Josh Allen hero ball, and we did not see that. We saw a phenomenal game from Josh Allen, and that is crazy coming from me because you guys know that I talk the most trash against the Bills. And the reason being is because every single time I root for them, they screw me. Every single time when it looks so good, when their team looks so good, and they're so primed for the Super Bowl, and everyone loves them, and everyone's rooting for them. I saw billboards up saying, Josh Allen, Super Bowl 2024, save us, give us the Super Bowl. And you know what happened, guys? Tyler Bass missed the field goal to end your season.
This is not all on
Josh
Tyler Bass,
Josh Allen underthrew a wide receiver in the end zone to send you home.
The Bills defense sent
The
them
Bills
home.
defense gave up
27
a shit
points.
ton of yards to Patrick Mahomes in a depleted offense that hasn't shown shit, absolute nada all season.
All year.
Until week 19 of the playoffs. Wild card. Are you kidding me? I'm just out of words. Sammy, take it over before I just lose my mind.
I just have a couple things I want to say real quick. Bills defense, you had one job. One job. Everybody was depending on you guys. Everybody was hoping you guys would hold the Chiefs and finally put an end to this Chiefs making it to the championship round. This was the year. You weren't playing at the Chiefs. This was the year. You weren't playing. Like, this was the time where you guys were on fire. The defense was looking not bad. The offense was looking great. You guys picked up at the right moment, the right time. And you guys come into this divisional round and you took a giant crap in the back of your fucking zone. And you were just like, yeah, we're just going to let Patrick Mahomes just do whatever he wants to us again for the third straight year. This is ridiculous. Something needs to change because you can't allow this to keep happening. You guys want to make to the championship round? This was the year because Kansas wasn't looking that strong. And then you know what? You guys actually might have had a chance against Baltimore. But now you will never know. You'll never know. And you can't put it all on Tyler Bass. I understand he missed that field goal. I completely get it. But you can't put all that pressure on your kicker when literally the wind is blowing up a storm and you're praying and hoping that he makes that field goal. You know, just to tie the game. I understand that that's his job. I understand that's what he gets paid for. But you can't put all that pressure on your kicker. You needed more help. Josh Allen did all he could this game. He wasn't playing hero the majority of the time. He was making smart throws. He was making smart plays. He was doing everything he could. I mean, honestly, I have no other words for the Bills than, you know, this kind of hurt me too. I was really hoping the Bills would finally beat Kansas because I did not want to see Kansas back in that championship game. And now they're back. That's all I got.
Sammy, what I want to talk about for the Bills side right now is two things. Where the hell was Stephon Diggs, and why the hell did he not catch that pass? 1. 2. What the hell of a dude? What in the absolute dude? If you're a Bills fan, I'm so sorry because I know you guys were grabbing the sledgehammers to crush your TVs at this moment. What the hell was that fake punt call? That literally almost screwed you guys. Just right there, you lost the game. Literally, right there, you lost the game. If it wasn't for that crazy play that happened at the end where they're about to score the touchdown and it went back for a touchback, extremely lucky, by the way. Extremely lucky. Crazy punch out happened to turn out their way. If it just was a yard back and it just rolled out right there, they score. They're up by 2 possessions at that point. 2 scores. You guys are screwed because of your coach and that decision to fake punt it there. That was absolutely the worst call that I saw in this entire playoffs series. Like, any game that's happened in this playoffs, this is the most concerning call that I've seen. And I believe something needs to change in their front office, in their coaching. Something needs to change. And Stephon Diggs, where the hell were you? Why the hell did you not catch that ball?
Hold on. Number one wide receiver, guys. He had the second most targets, second behind Shakir at 9 targets. Shakir did better than Stephon Diggs, who's actually supposed to be their clear number one wide receiver. Caught 3 balls, 21 yards. 3 balls, 21 yards. Unacceptable.
Dude, you had a rookie.
Unacceptable.
You had a rookie in Dalton Kincaid that outplayed him.
Yep. He went 5 for 5. He caught every pass that came to him. And he got 9 plus of reception.
And the crazy thing is, the stupid damn coach took him out for Dawson Knox, dude. He took him out for Dawson Knox. Dude, if you watch the game, Tony Romo literally said, he is the guy. Keep him on the field. And then he laughs. He literally is laughing at their coach decision. He's like, he is the guy. Keep Dalton Kincaid on the field. And then literally the next play, he runs off the field. And Tony Romo goes, oh, never mind. I guess he's not their guy.
Yeah, it was...
Dude, I couldn't believe... Because I saw the amount of plays Kincaid was making, and I was just thinking, like, dude, feed him the ball. Feed him the ball. Feed him the ball. Like, this guy is getting what he wants. He's getting everything he wants. He's fighting for the first downs. He's the one actually showing up to play.
Yep.
Oh, man, this one's got to really hurt for the Bills fans. This one's got to
stings.
really hurt for the Bills fans.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I got to say about the Bills, man. I want to talk about the Chiefs for a second. Dude, the Chiefs did what the Chiefs do best. They showed up in the playoffs. Andy Reid had the schemes for Patrick Mahomes. Pacheco did his job like he's been doing all season. Yeah. He's really good, man. He's really good, man. Keep that guy. Isaiah Pacheco has been absolute, like, a beast this season for them. He's been really the reason why they've been winning some of these games. Probably the reason why they're in the playoffs. Isaiah Pacheco.
I was about to say,
without that guy, I don't think they would have made. I don't think they would have made the playoffs without this guy, man. That's how good he is. Now, Patrick Mahomes went 17 for 23, and Travis Kelce showed up when it mattered in the playoffs with his woman watching. We have not seen this all season. We haven't seen it all season. Now they decided to turn it up. 2 games in wild card weekend and now division. This is giving me nightmare. This is gonna give me nightmares, guys. If they win this next game, this will give me nightmares.
I think honestly, if you're not a Kansas City Chief fan right now, everybody is trying to root against them because nobody wants to see the Kansas City Chiefs again in the Super Bowl. Everybody will literally just lose it.
It's turning into the new dynasty. You know,
new dynasty with Tom Brady and the Patriots. This is turning into that where Patriots was making it almost every damn fucking year to the championship or the Super Bowl
without anybody, and they're doing it with a receiving core that hasn't done shit this entire season.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes has been frustrated this entire season, hasn't been able to do anything. And now everyone's picking it up. And I have to give so much credit to Andy Reid and what a hell of a job he's done in these playoff games, really scheming with Patrick Mahomes and getting the squad ready. But I also have to give a shit ton of credit to that defense. Kansas City defense has been great all year. And against this group with Josh Allen and the Bills to come up with any stops, just any kind of stops is the best job they could have done. You know, phenomenal job. The fact that they came up with any stops against this guy who's been rolling the last 3 games. 4 games, 5 games, whatever the number is, Sammy. I'm thinking it's 5 games in a row where they won, right? Or was it more?
I just honestly don't understand where the defense was with stopping Travis Kelce. Clearly, they don't get the memo when he is their best receiving person on their team. And every team that's gone up against Kansas, what do? They put 2 on who, and then what happens? Offense shuts down because everybody else cannot catch a ball. Now, don't get me wrong, they were catching balls this time, but do you really want to keep putting all that pressure on your lower receiving core when they've been dropping all season? I wouldn't. And it's why they were going to Travis. And it was working. He was breaking free and getting touchdowns. He had 2 of their touchdowns. I'm watching the game, Justin. I see a touchdown. I walk away. I come back. Kansas City has the ball again. Get a touchdown again for a touchdown. Oh, what the man? What's happening?
Yeah.
Travis Kelce has another touchdown already?
Yep.
I was like, no way. This is no way this is happening.
Yep.
And that's what happened. It just, everything went down. Everything went downhill from there.
When's the last time we saw Patrick Mahomes have a QBR of 91.2?
Not all year. He hasn't had one all year.
That's just
over 90.
That's that's just how the Chiefs play in the postseason, and that's why I literally told you guys last week you cannot root against the Chiefs and you can't bet against the Chiefs because they do this every single year. They make it past the divisionals with ease every single time. Something always goes their way. And Sammy, I want you to talk about the refs. With that being said, I want you to talk about the refs.
Oh, I mean, Justin, I'm not even going to put the full cam on here because honestly, all I have to do is this. Patrick Mahomes, fucking, here you go, Patrick. Oh, I see that. I got you, boy. Here we go, right there. Oh, wait, Josh Allen. Oh, that was a big hit. He's good. He's walking. He's fine. Yeah.
Ooh, and Tony Romo goes.
Keep that in pocket.
That was a bit late.
Yeah, that was a bit late there. I think Kansas just got away with another one there. I can't tell you how many times he said that. I think he said that about 3 times where he said Kansas just got away with another one there. Yeah. Like that's a problem. That's a problem. That is a problem. And this was at Buffalo, man. What the hell? Like, and I don't want to talk too much about the previous game, but that was with the Bucs and Lions. We couldn't depend on the freaking refs because we knew the refs are going to be against us. We're at Detroit, so it's like don't look for flags for us. You know, like we need to just play our best ball and hope that we end up, not getting the flag. Or if we get a flag, great, but don't expect one. But holy shit. This happened. This has been all year, though, Justin. All fucking year. Because you know what Patrick Mahomes He goes.
Yeah, he waddles around.
What are you doing? Throw a flag right here. Yeah. That's what they'll do. They'll do. All right. Here you go.
Dude, I just remember one flag that kind of pissed me off. It really, like, it pissed me off. They did a recap. And sure, the flag was right. But, dude, it was 2 minutes after the play was over. The screen is about to change into the next play. Like, we're watching. The screen is about to transition to the next play where they're huddled up, etc., right? Right before that transition, you see a flag fly across the screen, and the announcers are like, hold on a second.
Is that a towel? Is that a towel?
I think I just saw a flag go across. I think that's a flag on the field. And then literally 2 seconds later, boop, flag. And I'm just thinking, dude, who else gets this besides Patrick Mahomes? I know everyone's super frustrated at this, but beyond the refs, there's three things that happen in this game that really changed the outcome of this game. 1, the decision to fake punt. 2, the Stephon Diggs drop that was in between his arms, literally, and with a godly throw,
and hang on.
Skyscraper.
Can I list number 3?
Wait,
can I list number 3?
Hold on, number 3.
I know number 3.
Number 3.
Uh-huh.
The short missed pass from Josh Allen into the end zone. He was wide open.
It wasn't a short one. It wasn't a short one, but it was a long one. But he was wide open.
He was wide open, and he missed him.
He missed him. Yep, he missed him.
He missed him short. Those are the 3 things that changed the outcome of this game. Any of those 3 things changed, I'm talking they possibly win this game.
I think they win. But I guess we'll never know.
I don't want to bring up the field goal. I don't want to bring up the field goal because you shouldn't have to rely on a kicker to win your game.
I don't like relying on the field. Nope. Our guy missed the field goal.
Tie a game.
Our guy fucking missed the field goal.
Boink.
Yeah, we got the boink. So, like, it's whatever. Honestly, Justin, like, I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Something needs to change.
Yep, something has changed. Congrats to the freaking Chiefs again for making another freaking winning, making to another championship round. Congrats to them. Oh, I don't know how you did it, but you did it. So big congrats to them. Bills, we'll see you fudging later. We'll see you next year, man, because I got nothing else to say for y'all. I already went on a rant for you guys, so that's all I had to say.
Honestly, Sammy was probably one of the biggest fans of the Bills this season. He had extreme hopes. Him and Webby had extreme hopes, along with the millions of other people, and that had hopes
I
for the
honestly
Super Bowl.
thought they had a really good chance. I thought they really had a very, very, very good chance with the Chiefs playing so bad this year, because Chiefs was their kryptonite. Every time they go up against Chiefs, they lose. So I was like, this is the year. I feel like they could finally break that curse. Nope.
Yep.
Couldn't get it done. Couldn't break that curse. So I don't know what to say, man. I guess at this point, pray that the Chiefs don't even make the playoffs. I think that's your only hope.
Which is not going to happen as long as Patrick Mahomes is there. To be honest.
Exactly. So as long as Patrick Mahomes and they should have a little bit more money next year. So they're going to be dropping people and probably adding some more people. So it might get scarier next year. So all right, good luck.
It might get even scarier next season. Imagine if they had one wide receiver. Just one.
Good, really
imagine, bro. It's so frustrating. It really is. As a football fan, it's really frustrating to see that they're able to get this far with that squad.
Yep. And Justin, I have nothing else to say. I would really, really, we don't have too much time left, and I really want to get into these next week.
Let's get into it.
All right, so we got the conference championship games, guys. They are going to be Sunday at 3 o'clock between the Chiefs at the Ravens. That's going to be the 3 o'clock game. And then the 6:30 game is going to be the Lions at the 49ers. And I'm just going to say it right now. I have the Ravens beating the Chiefs. I don't believe this should be close. I think that if I'm correct, I think that the Ravens pull away 24-13. 24-13. I think this is going to be a 10-point game differential, 10 to 11-point game differential. I don't think it's that close. They're calling it, I believe, they're calling it about 3.5 right now towards Baltimore favor,
Uh-huh.
but I have them a little bit higher. And then for the Lions and 49ers game, Justin, I after what I saw, I'm scared for the Lions because of the run game that the Bucs had on them, and the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So I'm worried for them, but I would love to see the Lions win. So just for that, just because I really want the Lions to win, I'm just gonna go Lions. I'm gonna shoot a freaking dart in the freaking in the dark and just pray that it hits the bullseye and the Lions end up making it to the Super Bowl. I think this might be their year. I'm hoping it. I'm hope so. I'm really rooting for them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Justin, on paper, 49ers win this game, right? But I have a feeling that the Lions sneak that away. So I have the Ravens and Lions winning, and Ravens Lions being the Super Bowl games or Super Bowl game.
Um. Okay, for me, I'll start with the Chiefs and the Ravens. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I swear to God, if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be very, very, very pissed. The Ravens should absolutely crush the Chiefs, but with the way the Chiefs literally played against these teams in the playoffs, I don't know. I really, really don't know, because then it's any given day. Who shows up?
I will say this. They haven't played a really good defense. Bills' defense wasn't looking good. They played Miami.
So,
we already knew Miami didn't have good defense.
With that being said, the Ravens should win this game.
Hands down. This is why I think
I got the Ravens winning this game. Now, this can very well turn back on us completely. And next week, we can be on this podcast at 6 o'clock telling you guys how much we hate football.
Yeah.
I'm praying that does not happen, so I will be going for the Ravens on the AFC side. On the NFC side, guys, we have the Lions and the 49ers. This is a tough one. Both teams have shown really that they're the two best teams in the NFC. The Lions have really picked it up. Jared Goff's been very efficient, not throwing picks in the playoffs, and deserving to be in the Super Bowl. And this can very well happen. With the way the 49ers played against the Packers, dude, they have Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. Are you kidding me? If they let Aaron Jones do that to him, imagine what's going to happen. They better have some answers. And I will take the hit here. I'm going to go for the 49ers. I believe they're going to win. Okay, so it'll be the Ravens and the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you have the favorites.
But if Kyle Shanahan does not have any answer for their running game, or Marseille Brown, they lose.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm pretty completely
But I believe he will. I believe he will, and that's why I have the 49ers taking this game and going to the Super Bowl.
Yep. I completely agree with you. I'm really hoping, like I said, the Lions end up pulling this through. And I feel like they definitely can. They're just going to have to tidy up their rush game for sure. And then, Debo might be coming back, and if he does, then they're going to have two really good wideouts. But they need to pressure Brock Purdy. They need to pressure Brock Purdy.
I just want to let you know, if I'm right about this one, I predicted this Super Bowl, motherfucker.
I think you did, didn't you? You had did you have the Ravens?
I had the Ravens and the 49ers.
Okay, wait. I think I did too.
No, you had
Bills.
You had
Bills.
Dude, you had Cleveland and you had Cleveland and the 49ers, and you said Cleveland was gonna win the Super Bowl.
how they shut me down early. God, man, what a fucking dude, what a devastating freaking
by
dude.
the Texans. I'm sorry,
Dude,
Sammy.
but Justin,
I don't want to
come on,
rub it in your
nobody
face, but
could, nobody
you
predicted
made
that.
me
Come on,
made me wear that Dak shirt, so
no,
I gotta rub that a
nobody,
little bit in your face, all right?
nobody made that prediction though. Come on, man, nobody could made that prediction. That was insane. That was insane.
Oh yeah, nobody could have. Yeah, but I mean,
So
some people took the Texans, and boy, that was a payout if
that
they
was a
did.
big payout. That was like, I think that was like one of the highest points. I think it was like a 12-point differential. So it was
Wow.
insane. Yeah, it was insane. It was one of the highest outside of the Cowboys. The Cowboys game was the highest. That was the highest.
Dude,
We
I
should
was
have
literally.
bet against them. I was mad I did it. I called it all year, and I don't know why I just didn't put money on it.
We both
Because I
did.
was just scared. I was like, because Cowboys was looking really good still. I was like, but you know
Because they were
what? I
playing
should
at
have went with
home,
my
I
gut.
didn't.
I knew it.
Because they were playing at home, I didn't. And
Yeah.
that would have been a double whammy if I was right, but whatever.
Whatever.
All right, Sammy, go ahead and close this out.
All right. All right. Oh. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in the podcast. We really hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and by the way, guys, I didn't give my point differential I had for the last game between the NFC. So I have it going 3 points in the Lions' favor over San Fran. So mark my words. But yeah, it was a great podcast, guys. I had great fun. This is awesome. This has been a great year. It's coming out to be a great closing year as we have 2 more podcasts we're gonna be going over. So yeah, give us much love. Make sure you guys hit that like. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you guys want to chat with us, we'll be streaming again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Please catch us. Come and tune in. Catch us. You can talk shit to us. You can pretty much just ask us questions if you have any questions. Whatever, we're here. We're here to talk. We're here to talk, some football with you guys. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to Santos Show, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. All right, and with that, Justin, we're out. Take it easy, gues. Have a
Take
great
it
rest
easy,
of your
guys.
night.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week at 2 o'clock.
All right.
Next Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
All right.